Thanks for opting in to my 7 steps to delivering a 5-star patient consultation. I'm so excited for you to be here because I truly believe that the consultation is the biggest impact on patient satisfaction in med spa revenue at the end of the day. And what's more important than those two things? So I'm going to be going over some can't miss elements to delivering a 5-star consultation. So make sure that you have access and printed out or downloaded the framework that has been provided in this training. Now, there are some things that are included that are some no duh stuff, right? Or I don't go into exact detail because for the most part, people have those things covered. So I want you to pay close attention to some things that are really deal breakers at the end of the day in you getting a conversion, you getting a commitment from a patient getting started with their treatment plan. So let's dive in right away. The very first thing is the impression that you give a patient, which is your energy, right? Whether that's your front desk, a patient coordinator, or the actual provider. Energy and passion is contagious. And so you want them to feel welcome. You want them to feel like you care. You want them to feel like you love your job, right? So make sure that you leave, whatever's happening at home or outside or drama to the side, and that you really put off a good energy. The next thing has to do with paperwork. Now, this is a no-brainer, of course, but 2 things. Oftentimes I see people miss collecting some of these important paperwork on the front side before they even start talking to a patient. For example, marketing and photo consent forms. Get them now before you have these amazing results and then you ask them, if it's okay to use their photo. No. Get it now. Get it right away. Get it out of the way and have them sign your legal document. The next thing is make sure that you clearly have stated your no-show and late cancellation policy. And finally, most importantly, use an aesthetic interest questionnaire. This is an absolute must, right? Otherwise, you are leaving yourself subjective to maybe you get their Botox business, but they go down the street to get Sculptra or a device or hormones because they didn't even know that you offered it, right? They might have been seeing you for years and you told them about it once or last year, right? But they forgot. Okay, so that aesthetic interest questionnaire is absolutely important in making sure that you don't lose unnecessary business and that you're able to really utilize all the tools in your tool belt to help with all the different pain points and challenges that they are looking for support for. Okay, the next on is engage dialogue. So make sure you actually use the aesthetic interest questionnaire, right? If they're there for a Botox appointment, but yet they're saying, that they don't like their dark circles, right? Then you're able to ask more follow-up clarifying questions because that way you can develop a treatment plan that is beyond just doing some Botox, right? Because you learned that that is a need or a challenge that they're looking for help. The next 2 big things are absolute musts and really uncovering and getting deep with patients on pain points. The first one is using a mirror. Now, when you hand your patient or a mirror and ask them, what is it you see when you look in the mirror? All right. Or share with me, what is it you like about yourself? Now, you notice that was a positive question. I didn't say what do you hate? What can I help you with? Right. It's a very positive frame that I presented to her. But what do women do? We automatically begin shredding ourselves and we focus on the positive, right? And so you come back and you ask clarifying questions, right? So it's oh, I hate my crow's feet. So when they're holding the mirror and they're looking at it, so then whatever they say, then you want to point at the area so that you can make sure again that you are on the same page. Okay, so use that mirror. The second thing is take a before photo, not after you get the commitment, but right away. You want to take that before photo so you can utilize it when I'm sharing you. I don't like my crow's feet. Then you can blow up that picture and circle those pain points or challenges that I'm wanting help with. Okay, what does that do? It's kind of like putting salt in the wound, in the sense of I look at myself every single day in the mirror. I know what I look like, but when I'm having to talk about it with a stranger or another person, and I have to look in the mirror, right? And then I have to verbalize it to someone, and then I have to look at it in a picture. This is why women don't take pictures, right? I have to look at it in a picture. Now it is front and center. My pain is front and center, and it's going to help me to more easily. So when you come around and you ask me the qualifying question and permission, right? If I could map out a plan to get you the results you want, would you be interested in following it? That's that first commitment, that micro commitment before you even make a recommendation that you are going to ask them. Then it's so much easier for me, like, yes, I'm ready. Yes, I would love to, tell me what I need to do, right? So you don't want to skip out on using the mirror or the before picture. And when you are exposing those different pain points and challenges, you want to make sure that you're using their language. Okay, you're mirroring their language. You don't want to talk over their head and show them how smart you are, right? You want to use them their language. Now, one of the things that I love to ask people if they're in there for a device and I want them to include injectables in their treatment plan, my go-to question is, how quickly are you looking for results? And most people answer with yesterday, right away, as soon as possible. I have an event coming up in a month, right? And that is your gateway into including injectables into your treatment plan so that you can get that fast, immediate result with, neurotoxins and fillers, right? Versus what's happening, a subcellular level, beneath the skin. And at the cellular level, that takes a little bit more time, right, to build that collagen. And so when you combine the power of injectables and then devices in your treatment plan, they're really happy, you're really happy, it's a win-win. So make sure that you remember that qualifying question. How quickly are you looking to get results? Now, after you get that first micro commitment of them being interested in following a plan that you've mapped out, if it could get them results that they're looking for, then you want to credential your practice and or yourself as a provider, or the provider that you're making the treatment plan recommendation to do that service with, before you even tell them what it is. The reason why is it puts you in a position of authority and credibility for them to listen to what the heck you're having to recommend. Because remember, they have a lot of choices of where they want to get their services, their treatments. And if you want people to focus not on price, but on results and experience, you need to give them food for thought. You need to give them a reason why to choose you. So make sure that before you make a recommendation that you credential your practice and or the provider. All right, now when it comes to the fun part of developing that treatment plan, you want to make sure that it's professional, of course, that you are utilizing reading material or collateral. You want to utilize the before and after pictures that you have taken from other patients where you got amazing results. If you don't have those personally yet, you better have a system in place so you're collecting them. And until then, you can use the manufacturer's photos. But patients have gotten savvier and they can tell the difference, and it makes a difference at the end of the day if you have your own before and after pictures. You also want to use the mirror and the before picture that you took when you are uncovering their pain points as you are making the recommendation. Okay, I am making a recommendation of 4 different handles on your midsection to cover these areas that you shared with me bothered you. And you'll get a 20% reduction with each treatment. And so to get to that end result that you shared that with me that you're looking for, we're no need to do 3 sessions. Okay, so you're breaking it down, you're utilizing before and after pictures, their before and after pictures, your social proof before and after pictures within your recommendation. You're writing this all down. Okay, obviously you're going to have it maybe charted in your notes, but they should be able to leave with a written copy of their treatment plan, the instructions, right? Pre, post care, is their skin care, the frequency in between appointments, all of it needs to be written down, and don't skirt around cost. Okay, don't be afraid to talk about money. It's an investment to get the result that you are looking for. You want to make sure that you're managing their expectations, because what happens if they end up saying, oh, well, I can only do, 1, not the 3, right? Or I'm going to just start with 1 and see how it goes. You need to manage their expectations. So like, look, you shared with me that you were looking to get rid of X, Y, and Z. And I showed you some before and after pictures of the treatment protocols that it took to get that type of result that you are looking for. Similar, I showed you similar patients of your starting point and where you're ultimately, the result that you're trying to get to, right? And that is the treatment protocol that was required to get that type of results. Now, then you can, again, if you need to downsell and say, if we need to get started with just 1 because of budget, and then in 3 months do phase 2 of the treatment plan, we can do that. But I just want to make sure that we're on the same page of what it's really going to take to get you the results that you're looking for. Otherwise, guys, what happens is they get undertreated, and then all of a sudden you get, a reputation that you don't have good results, right? It was a waste of money, when really they just were undertreated at the end of the day. But it comes back on you for managing expectations. So you need to make sure that you're doing that, in addition to anticipating what those frequently asked questions are, which at the end of the day become pretty repetitive on all the different treatments that you are providing for your patient. Now, as you're making this recommendation along the way, look at their body language, ask for micro commitments along the way. Does that make sense? Is this sounding good? So that when it comes at the very end, when you go in to get an actual commitment to the treatment plan, you're going to have great confidence leading into it, that knowing that they want to get the results, right? They're finally ready to get the results that they're looking for. They'll follow a plan if they believe the result is going to happen for them, right? And so this next step, right, it gets down to asking for the commitment and talking about money. So you need to have that go-to close question. What does that look like? What does that sound like? Now, as you get more confident and comfortable, you might have a couple in your pocket based on the situation. But in the short term, you really can benefit from having a go-to closing question that you're going to feel confident. Now, some of it depends on the patient, but some of it depends on what treatments and services that do you do. Are you interested, or is the goal to get them into a membership, or is it a package, right? What is the kind of the business model and the ascension plan based on the services that you have to offer? And that should be mapped out, right? And so that way you'll be armed with the information of, am I trying to show them the value of the membership to use as a vehicle to get started on this treatment plan? Am I using the package as a vehicle to get them started on this treatment plan? One of my favorite go-to vehicles is offering a monthly payment plan, otherwise known as patient financing. Now, I'm not a fan of utilizing the term patient financing, because I think there's stigma on the side of, oh, you think I need financing kind of thing, and poo-pooing that, or making someone feel bad because they actually need patient financing. I think we celebrate that we have a vehicle to be able for you to be able to do the full treatment plan at an affordable monthly payment option. I would celebrate that. I would use that as an exciting tool to be able to get started, right? And not shortchange yourself or the protocol and jeopardize the end result at the end of the day. So this is the verbiage I like to use. So first off, you need to be able to pull up and utilize, be very familiar and savvy with how your financing calculators work with Affirm or Cherry or whatever it is that you use. I'm very familiar with Cherry. I think it is an amazing financing tool that has been game changer for so many of my clients. Because you can put in there, it's like, okay, this treatment plan comes to $2,200. You put in that payment calculator. And then I like to utilize like the good credit score. Some people like to use the bad credit score to show worst case scenario. I don't like to use the high top end one, in essence, to figure out what the potential monthly payment could be. But once I do use that calculator, this is what I would say. The treatment plan investment is $2,200. And if you utilize our monthly payment option, it could be $187 a month for 12 months or $327 a month for 6 months based on approval. Would you like to see if you qualify for a monthly payment option? It's that simple. That verbiage alone. Why I love that and so powerful, even though I'm a person that can afford $2,200 a month and just, putting it on my card, paying that off by the end of the month, I think about it, right? Because it's going to be that big fat charge on my card and my husband's going to be like, what is that? What did you do? Kind of thing in this conversation, right? But $187 a month or even $327 a month over 6 months, like I don't think about that, right? We pay more, that ladies pay more for that with their hair and their nails every month. And we have a subscription for everything, right? The gym, makeup, supplements, workout gear. Everything is on a membership, clothing, everything, right? And so, or that monthly payment plan. So utilize your patient financing to offer affordable monthly payment options. So powerful, so powerful. So don't forget that. Now, it's really important that you get or a yes or a no before you leave that consultation. Before you hand them off to the front desk or the patient coordinator, you need to get a yes or a no. Now, if you are someone that says, oh, I don't talk about money, I don't even know our prices, someone else does that. In my opinion, I think that is something that should be a part of the consultation. But I know for some providers and doctors that's just not in their wheelhouse and it's never going to be. So if that is the case, if you are one of those person, then you can still get a yes or a no. But if they come back and say, well, yes, but it all depends on the price, then I would love for you to better put the front desk or the patient coordinator in a position to succeed by saying, okay, I understand, of course, price is a consideration, but before I leave, I just want to make sure that I've covered all of the questions and you see that, and you agree that this treatment plan can get you the result that you are looking for, right? And if they say yes, then you truly know then that your patient coordinator or your front desk, they just have to show them that vehicle or pathway to be able to do it on their timeline in their budget, right? But if you don't get that commitment, then you'll never know, right? It couldn't have, maybe it wasn't about money. Maybe it was like, well, I just really didn't think that's not what I was interested in. I was doing a secret shopper consultation once, and I was in there for a Morpheus consultation. Actually, no, I was in there for an Emsculpt Neo consultation. And then we started talking about Morpheus. And then at the end of the day, I wasn't pitched, I shouldn't use that word. I was recommended one treatment, but really I was in there for something else because we were on the same page. And the provider left the room to leave it to the patient coordinator to talk about money with me, but the patient coordinator was talking about money with me on the wrong treatment, right? That I wasn't even necessarily interested in. So it's the provider's professional obligation to get a commitment, right, to that treatment plan of at least knowing that, if money wasn't a consideration, yes, I would want to do this, right? And then you can hand it off and you can talk money if that's how you guys run things in your med spa. And the final thing I'll say about getting that commitment and why it's so important is because once you kind of get those answers and questions to the commitment, then you can decide like, geez, should I add, more onto it? Is she ready for more, right? And that ascension model of where you're taking your patient in their journey, or do you need to descend? Right? Do you need to downsell, or do you need to start and pare back the treatment plan while managing expectations of ultimately what they're gonna need to get the result they're looking for? But oftentimes we skirt away from getting commitment to think about it, which ultimately just ends up as a no. And then the final thing is on the planning and executing those final steps. And if you make a recommendation, for 3 treatments that are 6 weeks apart, the patient should leave with all 3 of those treatments scheduled. Now, of course, sometimes things come up, but they have been educated and they understand the importance of keeping to a schedule. Otherwise, what happens is you are increasing the chances of putting more time in between appointments as jeopardizing results, and even jeopardizing them completing the treatment protocol at the end of the day. So you want to make sure that you book out everything, that you get a commitment before, and then of course, get a deposit, if not the full payment to that treatment plan, and make sure that that patient leaves with written instructions, pre, post, protocols, skincare instructions, right? And then finally, make sure that you do a 2-week follow-up call. Now, on that 2-week follow-up call, don't be generic and be like, oh, just want to check in. Did you have any questions? Everything's going okay. Oh, great. Okay, that's it, right? That's pretty generic. You're not offering a lot of value. That's when people are going to start screening your call. This is where you want to show them that, you remembered talking about something in your appointment, right? Maybe they shared with you that they had an upcoming event or a certain challenge that they were having. Make sure that you note that so you can mention it in your call. Maybe it's you added a couple of new skincare products. Hey, I wanted to see how's it going that now that you've added retinol into your skincare routine, you might be getting a little bit inflamed and flaky. Stick with it. It's all a part of the process. It's not whatever it may be, reassuring, reinforcing, right? And then in addition, if they left without scheduling their next appointment, that's an opportunity to get that next appointment scheduled. If they left without getting a commitment to, partial or all of your treatment plan, that's another opportunity to get a commitment. So you want to continue the relationship and move them forward, right? Move them forward, go deeper with them, provide more education, provide more value. Tell them, an upcoming event, or make sure you check out next special, because I think next month's specials, because we had talked about you getting, a post-treatment hydrofacial, and that's a special next month or whatever, right? You get the gist. Don't just check the box and do the call, because it can make all the world's difference. All right, guys, so make sure that you check out the complete framework of 7 steps to delivering a 5-star consultation. Get custom, right? And figuring out what your scripting is going to be. And in the short term, write them on note cards, right? Until they become just natural from your gut that you can share with people and utilize in your consultation. You got to practice. You got to be a student of the game. You need to role play. You need to record yourself and watch yourself on video is a great way to really improve your consultation game. You need to have secret shoppers, right? And get feedback from other people. These are all best practices in your journey to becoming a 70% closer with consultations, in your journey to really hitting that 80% rebooking rate that we are going after, meaning 80% of all of your clients or patients that you see rebook their next appointment before they leave. And that is going to help increase number of visits per year and average spend per patient. So win-win for everyone. Patients are not being undertreated. They're going to get amazing results. They're going to get loyal to you. They're going to increase the number of visits per year. They're going to increase their average spend with you. They're going to add more services, more modalities, more skincare. Those are the dream patients that we love to work with, right? Because they're getting great results. They become raving fans of yours. They listen to whatever you tell them or recommend to them, right? Because you're getting them best results possible. And those are super fun patients to work with. Not only are they generating the med spa more revenue, but likely revenue in your, commission or bonus as well. So it's a win-win-win for the patient, for the provider, and for the med spa. So practice. Even if you are really good in the consultation room, if there's just one nugget that you can pull away to get better, right? That is the name of the game. So thanks so much for joining me here on this training of 7 steps to delivering a 5-star patient consultation, and make sure that you don't skip any of these very, very important steps, because it's going to help you increase your close rate and your patient satisfaction. Bye, guys.